Nobody talks about this, but there is an exact moment when you walk into a store and the saleswoman decides whether to treat you as a VIP client or as someone who is just looking. It's not about the price of your clothes, it's not about your age or beauty, it's about a sequence of visual signals your body sends in the first seconds. Rich women know this. They don't learn it in school, they learn it by observing, making mistakes, and eventually discovering that there is a formula. Today I'm going to show you this formula step by step. I spent years being invisible, not in a dramatic way. It was more subtle than that. I would walk into a restaurant and no one would offer me the best table. I would go to a boutique and the saleswoman would ignore me while attending to other clients. In work meetings, my opinion was heard, but it wasn't remembered. I had a good job, earned well, but something in my appearance communicated that I wasn't someone important. I bought expensive clothes, but remained invisible. Until one day, a friend took me to lunch at an expensive restaurant. She walked in first. We were immediately taken to the best table. The waiter treated her as if she were the most important person in the world. She was wearing simple pants, a white blouse, and a belt. No visible designer brands, but she looked rich. I asked her what the secret was. She laughed and said, "It's not a secret. It's science." That day she taught me the first rule. Then came the others, and my life changed completely. The rule of high waist and strategic length. Start here. This is the foundation of everything. Most women wear normal or low waist pants. This creates a visual proportion that our brain associates with lack of power. When you wear high waist pants, you create an optical illusion that lengthens your legs and shortens your torso. This communicates elegance because it's the proportion we see in women who have access to personal stylists. It's no coincidence that all rich women wear high-waist pants. They know it works. The technique is simple. Look for pants that start at your narrowest point of the waist, not at your natural waistline. Yes, there is a difference. Your natural waist is where you bend. Your narrowest point is a few centimeters above. When you place the waistband of your pants at that point, you create a continuous vertical line that makes you look taller and more elegant. I tested this for 2 weeks. In the first week, I wore my usual normal waist pants. In the second week, I bought 3 high waist pants in neutral colors: black, brown, and beige. The results were immediate. At a cafe, the barista started calling me Miss instead of using a casual tone. At a clothing store, the saleswoman asked me if I was a stylist. At a social event, 3 people approached me to talk, something that rarely happened. The difference wasn't about the clothes themselves, it was about the proportion they created. Women who look rich understand that proportion is everything. If you're enjoying these practical elegance tips, subscribe to the channel and click the bell because I'm going to post a complete guide on how to choose high-waist pants for your specific body type. Inside, there are exact measurements and where to find quality pieces without spending a fortune. The detail that nobody sees but everyone notices, the finishes. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. You can wear the most expensive outfit in the world, but if the finishes are poor, you look poor. Finishes are the small details that communicate whether you take care of yourself or not. When you walk into a store and the saleswoman treats you well, she's not looking at the brand of your clothes. She's looking at much more specific things. Are your shoes clean? Are your nails well maintained? Does your hair have a defined shape? Is your clothing well pressed? These are the things that communicate wealth. A rich woman invests in maintenance. She doesn't buy expensive clothes and leave them wrinkled. She presses them, she takes care of them, she maintains them. I started observing rich women in cafes and restaurants. All of them had something in common. None had neglected nails. None had dirty shoes. None had shapeless hair. This is not a coincidence. This is a deliberate choice. I decided to test this. I invested in 3 things: a good clothing steamer, a shoe cleaning kit, and a nail care routine. Nothing expensive. The steamer cost 50 Rs. The cleaning kit cost 30. I started steaming my clothes every day. I started cleaning my shoes every week. I started doing my nails every 2 weeks. The results were surprising. In 1 month, the number of people who approached me at social events tripled. In a work meeting, my boss commented that I looked much more professional and polished. In a store, the saleswoman offered me coffee while I looked at clothes. These small details communicate that you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, other people respect you too. And tell me in the comments, do you usually steam your clothes, or do you think it's a waste of time? What finishing detail do you most neglect? I really want to know. The game of neutral colors with one strategic highlight. Here comes the part that separates women who look rich from those who look like they're trying too hard. Most women make the mistake of using too many different colors in the same outfit. This communicates lack of standards. Rich women use a very restricted palette. They choose neutral colors as a base and add a single strategic highlight. That's the formula. Neutral colors are black, white, gray, beige, brown, and navy blue. These colors never go out of fashion. These colors go with everything. These colors communicate that you have good taste because you're not trying to get attention with vibrant colors. You're letting your elegance speak for itself. Now, the strategic highlight is the important part. You choose a piece that is your multiplier. It can be a pearl necklace, a leather belt, a structured bag, a silk scarf. This piece is what elevates the entire look. It communicates that you have standards because you know how to coordinate. I tested this for a month. I chose navy blue as my main neutral color. I wore navy blue in 80% of my outfits. My multiplier was a simple pearl necklace. Every day I wore navy blue with a different highlight, but always with the pearl necklace. The results were extraordinary. People started recognizing me for my style signature. A colleague commented that I had excellent taste and consistency. At a social event, a woman asked me if I was a fashion consultant. The truth is, I wasn't doing anything complicated. I was just following the formula that rich women have used for centuries. Before we move on to the next step, have you ever felt invisible in environments where you should be noticed? To solve this, I created a practical guide where I show exactly how to put together a color palette that works for you. Inside, there's a simple test to discover which neutral colors work best with your skin tone and how to choose your perfect multiplier. The link is in the pinned comment. Body positioning, how to occupy space. Here's something that nobody teaches, but that makes all the difference. Invisible women occupy little space. They shrink. They make themselves small. Women who look rich occupy space, not in an aggressive way, in a confident way. When you walk into a place, you can choose whether you're going to make yourself small or occupy your space. This has nothing to do with body size. It has to do with posture and presence. The technique is very simple. When you sit completely in the chair. You don't sit on the edge. When you stand, your shoulders are back. Your arms don't stick to your body. You leave space. When you walk as if you know exactly where you're going. You don't walk as if you're apologizing for existing. I started observing rich women in social environments. All of them did this. They occupied space. They sat completely in the chair. They walked with purpose. I decided to test this. For 1 week, I only changed my posture. Nothing else. I didn't change my clothes. I didn't change my hair. I just started occupying space. The results were shocking. At a restaurant, the waiter asked me if I wanted a better table. At a social event, people started approaching me instead of me having to approach them. In a work meeting, my boss asked for my opinion before asking for other people's opinions. Everything changed just because I started occupying my space. This is social invisibility being reversed in real time. Which of these techniques do you think will make the biggest difference in your life? Comment here because I read all comments and respond. Smart investment. Quality over quantity. Now comes the part that will change your relationship with money and clothes. Women who look rich don't have more clothes. They have better clothes. That's the fundamental difference. They invest in a few pieces of excellent quality instead of many pieces of poor quality. When you do this, you can create more outfits with fewer clothes. And more importantly, you communicate that you have standards. A woman who wears the same quality white blouse 5 times a week looks richer than a woman who wears a different white blouse every day. Why? Because the first one is saying, I have such good pieces that I reuse them. The second one is saying, I buy a lot of things. There's a huge psychological difference there. I started an experiment. I sold all my cheap clothes. I invested in 5 pieces of excellent quality. A silk white blouse, black tailored pants, a gray blazer, a simple black dress, and a beige sweater. Just 5 pieces. With these 5 pieces, I was able to create 20 different outfits. And most importantly, everyone who saw me commented on my style. A friend asked if I had renovated my entire wardrobe. I told her I had done exactly the opposite. I had reduced it. But the quality of the pieces made all the difference. Rich women understand that quality is an investment, not an expense. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 techniques are you going to start applying first? And what kind of content would you like to see in the next videos? A complete guide on how to choose quality pieces without spending a fortune, secrets on how to look younger through elegance, or how to adapt these techniques to different body types. Your opinion is very important to me. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave your like and share this video, because next week I bring more practical techniques that you won't want to miss. A kiss, and see you next time.